Alright guys, you saw the title from this video. In this video, in chess, I'm going to be showing you guys the fried liver attack. This attack in chess is one of the most powerful openings you can play in the game, and it will probably lead to you winning like 80% of all your chess games, if not even more. And yeah, let's just begin. But before I begin, guys, if you enjoy so, please drop a like and subs. I would really help the channel a ton. If you really enjoy so, you can also drop super thanks. And by the way, if it's difficult to hear my voice, just turn on the captions. Without further ado, let's just begin. So, the game, what you need to do is I need to be playing with the white pieces for this opening to even work. What you need to do is I need to play e4. Then your opponent has to respond with e5, and probably this opening will happen because this is like the most common result after one move of the game, pretty much. Now you need to respond with knight f3, and your opponent has to respond with knight c6. And so far, like a third of all chess games will start off like this. Now you need to play the move bishop c4, and then your opponent has to play knight f6. And now this position, you play the move knight g5, obviously launching an attack on this pawn. And if your opponent is, let's say, maybe like lower than 800 elo and just doesn't notice this attack and just play something like pawn h6, you can just capture with the knight, and then they have to play this, and then this, and now they are completely losing the game. But usually that's not going to happen, and the only way to save this position for black is by playing d5. And what you want to do is that you want to capture with the pawn. And now here is where this opening will be amazing, pretty much. Believe it or not, black should not recapture this pawn. They should not recapture it, because this is when the trap arrives. After the capture, the game is already lost. Because of the move, knight takes on f7. An actual brilliant move. I mean, usually I just put the brilliant icon on like moves that are like really bad in my videos reviewing chess games, but in this case, this is an actual brilliant move. You can put it into the engine. And what happens is that realistically, the only move that black has is to capture the knight. And what you will do now is queen f3. And now you are completely winning. Because if they play something like, let's say, king e7, all you have to do, just capture with the bishop, and you're automatically winning. Because, for example, if they play this... Oh, no, wait, no, you don't capture. Oh, I see how... This... Oh, wow. Yeah, so basically the idea is that you're just going to completely destroy your opponent's entire position, and maybe eventually you could go for a checkmate. It might work, like maybe you can play something like this to protect the bishop, and then maybe you could prepare a checkmate. Probably there's some way in this position, and as you can see, it's already winning by 4 points, even though you're only up by 1 point of material. And yeah, that is mostly the opening. And if they don't capture, and they just move their knight like this, I mean, like, it's still winning, because now you're up a pawn. But I mean, at least they're not losing as much. But still, yeah, that's kind of the, pretty much just the whole opening. The whole opening basically just depends on if your opponent actually decides to develop their knights after you develop your bishop. And then you launch this attack. And then your opponent plays literally the only move that saves the position. And if they recapture, you just capture the pawn with the knight. Then you play check. And even if the king goes over here, you can just capture with the queen, for example. And, oh no, that doesn't actually win. Oh yeah, this is the move that wins, yeah. Because now you're up by 1 point of material. And let's just say this knight moves back. You're winning by 5. Well, no, apparently that's not the move. This is the move, I think. Wait, what is the move? Okay, somehow this is winning by 5 points. I have no idea how. This? No. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know why it's winning by 5 points. Like, in this position, I would just play something like captures. Because if they recapture, you're just up by 2 points. and the engine still says you're winning by 3, and you can just capture this pawn, and you'll just be completely winning. But yeah, there are multiple ways this opening can go, and generally, it will always lead to you having an advantage if you can play it. And if your opponent even makes one small mistake, they'll instantly lose the entire game. And yeah, that's the entire video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subs. I would really help the channel a ton. If you really enjoyed, you can also drop super thanks. Without further ado, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. And by the way, comment down below if there are any other openings you may want me to make a video on. Yeah, see you guys in the next